Last night in New York, history was written under the dazzling lights of the US Open. Carlos Alcaraz, the 22-year-old Spanish sensation, produced a performance that the tennis world will remember for years to come. In front of a roaring Ashe Stadium, packed with nearly 24,000 fans, he defeated Jannik Sinner in a 4-set thriller to capture his second US Open title and reclaim the throne as the world #1. But this wasn't just another tennis match. This was a story of passion, rivalry, redemption, and greatness. The energy in New York was electric from the very first serve. Fans knew they were about to witness something special, and neither player disappointed. From the opening minutes, it was clear that this would be a battle of heart and willpower as much as talent. The match began with Jannik Sinner looking unstoppable. The Italian came out firing with ferocious groundstrokes, pinning Alcaraz behind the baseline and dictating the rallies. Every forehand from Sinner felt like a cannonball, and within 40 minutes, he had taken the first set 6-3. The crowd gasped as the young Spaniard walked back to his chair, towel over his head, clearly frustrated, but far from broken. For Carlos, this wasn't the first time he had been pushed to the edge, and it wouldn't be the last. Between sets, Alcaraz looked calm. He took a deep breath, nodded to his box, and stepped back onto the court with a different energy. In the second set, everything changed. Suddenly, his incredible court coverage came alive. He started mixing drop shots with powerful forehands, using his explosive speed to turn defense into attack. The crowd erupted when Alcaraz chased down an impossible ball, flicking a passing shot that left Sinner standing still. With every point, the momentum shifted. Carlos took the second set 6-2, and the match was level at 1 set apiece. By the third set, Ashe Stadium was shaking with anticipation. Every rally felt like a heavyweight boxing match, every point a war. Then came the moment that defined the night, a 15-minute rally at 4-4. The entire crowd was on its feet, clapping, shouting, living every shot. Both players went toe-to-toe, trading blows like gladiators. Sinner unleashed a blistering backhand down the line. Alcaraz somehow got there, sending a forehand curling past him. The noise inside the stadium was deafening. That rally broke Sinner's spirit and lifted Carlos to another level. Moments later, Alcaraz broke serve and took the third set 7-5. Sinner wasn't done yet. He fought bravely in the fourth, pushing Alcaraz to his limits. But Carlos smelled blood. With every shot, his confidence grew. He started playing fearlessly, stepping inside the baseline, dictating play. The drop shots became deadlier, the forehands more explosive, and the crowd sensed the inevitable. At 5-3 in the fourth, serving for the championship, Carlos took a deep breath, looked up at the roaring crowd, and unleashed one final ace down the tee. The stadium exploded. Alcaraz fell to the ground, arms spread wide, tears in his eyes. He had done it, US Open champion for the second time. As the applause thundered through the stadium, Carlos climbed into the stands to embrace his team. His coach Juan Carlos Ferrero was in tears, knowing exactly what this victory meant. For Carlos, this wasn't just another trophy. This was a statement to the entire tennis world. I'm not going anywhere. This is my era. In his victory speech, Alcaraz was humble yet emotional. This one is special, he said. New York is my city. My heart belongs here. The energy, the people, the crowd. I can't describe how much this means to me. The fans cheered louder, chanting his name as if the entire city belonged to him. On the other side of the net, Jannik Sinner smiled through the pain. He had played one of the best matches of his career, but it wasn't enough tonight. He later admitted, Carlos was better today. But this rivalry is just starting, and he's right. What we saw last night wasn't just a championship match, it was the birth of a new golden era in men's tennis. For years, tennis fans watched Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic dominate the sport, trading titles and rewriting history. But now, a new chapter is being written. Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner are the faces of the future, two young warriors destined to clash again and again on the biggest stages. And after this match, one thing is certain, the tennis world is in very good hands. With this victory, Alcaraz also regains the World No.1 ranking, dethroning Novak Djokovic, who slips to No.3 behind Sinner at No.2. The official ATP leaderboard now reads, Alcaraz on top with 10,300 points, Sinner close behind with 9,950, and Djokovic on 8,700. The balance of power is shifting, and the sport is entering a new era. Fans around the world are already calling this final one of the greatest in recent history. Social media exploded with reactions, from legends of the game to casual fans. Rafael Nadal tweeted, "Incredible performance from Carlos. Spain is proud." Roger Federer congratulated both players, calling the match an instant classic. Even Novak Djokovic, despite losing his ranking, praised Carlos's mentality, saying, "He plays with courage and joy. That's how champions are made." Beyond the numbers, beyond the rankings, beyond the trophies, this victory defines who Carlos Alcaraz is. He's not just a tennis player. He's a fighter, an entertainer, and an artist with a racket in his hand. Every time he steps onto the court, he brings something special, a blend of power, speed, creativity, and fearlessness that fans can't get enough of. The rivalry with Sinner is only getting started. In the last 8 matches between them, the score is now tied at 4-4. Both players have beaten each other in Grand Slams, Masters, and Finals. But after tonight, it feels like Alcaraz has the mental edge. He thrives under pressure, feeds off the crowd, and finds a way to raise his level when it matters most. That's the mark of a true champion. The next big test will be the ATP Finals in Turin, where Alcaraz, Sinner, Djokovic, Medvedev, and Zverev are all set to clash. If last night was any indication, tennis fans are in for something extraordinary. The fight for supremacy is far from over, but for now, the crown sits firmly on the head of Carlos Alcaraz. So, tennis fans, buckle up. This is just the beginning of a new golden age, an age of thrilling rivalries, unforgettable moments, and champions who redefine what's possible. Carlos Alcaraz is leading the charge, Jannik Sinner is right behind him, and the rest of the world is watching in AEW. Last night in New York wasn't just about winning a title. It was about creating history, inspiring millions, and showing us all what greatness looks like. And as Carlos lifted the US Open trophy high above his head, one thing was clear: the king is back, and he's here to stay.